Your stream on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com's Facebook and WTIM TV YouTube. Brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark and People's Bank and Trust. They put people first. I have Nokomis School District Superintendent Dr. Scott Dewar on the phone. Great to have you here, Dr. Dewar.
Hey, nice to talk to you again, Avery.
So I know every year you have standardized testing. You have that in the spring. Scores come out in the fall sometime. And well, you received your preliminary scores for last spring's results. So how do they look, Dr. Dewar?
You know, I was very pleased with our scores. The kids did really well. I contribute that to our great faculty and staff, as well as the additional programs that we put into place to mitigate, all the issues that have occurred over the last 2 years with COVID and the closing of schools down and all that fun stuff. So all of our buildings were rated as commendable, which I was thrilled about. So no one was in school improvement status for this year. And I'm very pleased. We'll be putting out some information, more information on our testing scores to our faculty, staff, and our community this week as they become officially available tomorrow.
Right. Officially available tomorrow. You sound like you are, you're happy with the results, but like you said, you sound pleasantly surprised. But I want to ask you a little bit. We've talked about summer learning loss before. How do you feel that went over the course of just the summer? I know the pandemic we can take into account, but let's forget about that for a moment. Just from the summer, sure. How do you feel like your students retained the knowledge from last year?
You know, it's hard to say. With our preliminary scores that we do in the fall for our MAP assessments, they looked really, really good. Our numbers of kids that were in what is known as a Tier 3 learning process was down and low, which is what we want to see. We want to see our kids in Tier 1 and Tier 2. So that was a positive indication that learning loss had been mitigated a little bit. And in fact, we did a 4-week summer school with our students, not only this past summer, but the summer before. We had a record number of kids attend in that summer school and in our after school program that we do. Again, a record number of kids are attending our after school program this year. And it's completely voluntary to attend those programs. But, we not only work on specific skills such as math skills and sets, but also reading and fluency and comprehension. And we throw in, extras. We make sure kids have playtime. We make sure we do enrichment activities that are related to STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And the kids have a great time. We make it more of a camp style program for the summer. So they have activities that they're constantly doing and hopefully retaining that information for when school starts back in the fall. And as I said, our MAP scores for the fall testing, were really good. And, I think that says a lot about the programs and the faculty and staff that are helping those kids maintain their level of education.
Forgive me, I may have kind of tied that together with your standardized testing, but to be clear, this isn't really standardized testing. It's kind of more of a measure for the district to see where you guys are as you enter the new school year.
Well, yes and no. I mean, the IAR, which is the Illinois Readiness Assessment, which is given in the spring, is a standardized test that the state gives to all kids in 3rd through 8th grade. And then, again, we have to do either the SAT or the ACT. The SAT is in Illinois right now. So, those are standardized tests in a sense that they measure the level of knowledge kids have based on the standards adopted by the Illinois State Board of Education. As a school district, we also do 3 measures a year. We do what is called a MAP testing or a MAP assessment, where we measure kids progressively just to look at student growth. That's the key here. The key is, are our students growing in the learning process? And that MAP testing allows us to check to make sure students are growing and maintaining grade level status.
Thank you for the clarification. Well, if folks want to check the official numbers later, is there a way they can do that?
Absolutely. As soon as the official results become available to the district, we'll be posting them on our website. And then, of course, parents and community members can go to the Illinois School Report Card website, where you can search every school district in the state to see how your school specifically or your district is doing.
You mentioned a moment ago about how all your buildings were in, I forget the term you used, but they were looking good according to the state. What was that term?
Yeah, it's commendable.
Okay.
That means a majority of our kids are meeting state standards, and we're also meeting the other components that the state measures, such as graduation rates. They look at fluency in math and reading. They look at a variety of different topics, such as truancy and attendance and things like that, to make sure that we are doing everything we can to ensure the success of all of our students.
Okay. All right. I understand now. All right. Is there anything else that you'd like to say about those standardized testing scores for fall? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, we'll be putting out some more information to our parents here soon. And, we look forward to celebrating, the achievements that our kids are making. And it's a testimony to all the hard work we've done over the last several years to ensure that, our curriculum is up to date, is meeting the standards. We've talked previously about implementing our new ELA curriculum and a revision of our math curriculum this year. So, we are looking to see that those scores continue to increase over the next several years.
The way I understand it, you're about a quarter of the way through the school year.
We are.
Yeah. How'd your first quarter go?
First quarter is over. It's going well. We did a bunch of renovations this summer. And so they are finally, with the supply chain being low, we were short some windows, and they're finally getting in this week and next week. So our buildings are going to be looking great as they have in the past. And the high school is where we focused most of our attention on this past summer, and made sure classrooms were up to date and meeting 21st century, needs.
Are there any other projects that you have your eyes set on?
Well, the goal is probably in the next 2 or 3 years, once we're able to, maybe get some more grant money and looking at our finances, we'll be finishing the renovations at the grade school. We have the older part of the building that will need some upgrades and updates, especially on the second floor of the grade school. And so we'll be looking at completing that. And once that's done, we should have about 95% of the district completely renovated over the last, between when we started in 2017 up until, about 2023, 2024.
All right. I want to talk more to you about everything going on with the Nokomis School District, maybe some lighter stuff. I know that the volleyball team is having some success, so we'll talk a little bit more about that and everything else coming up here in a moment with Superintendent of Nokomis School District, Dr. Scott Dewar, here on the WTIM Morning Show. Your stream on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com's Facebook and WTIM TV YouTube, brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark and People's Bank and Trust. They put people first.
WTIM. For over 100 years, Kemmer Village in Assumption, Illinois, has been supporting children and families in need. They've been able to provide residential treatment and foster care services, an on-ground school, equestrian therapy, recreation therapy, and a great summer camp because of the generosity of caring people across Illinois. Your investment can be as rewarding to you as it is to the children. Go to www.kemmervillage.org/donate and help make a difference in a child's life.
If you're looking for local hunting and fishing information, then join us for Central Illinois Outdoors with me, Jared White, Saturdays at 10 a.m. here on WTIM. Every weekend, we'll offer detailed local fishing reports from professional guides. We'll swap stories with local celebrity sportsmen, and I'll invite you to share your stories as well. Central Illinois Outdoors with Jared White, every Saturday morning at 10 on all WTIM platforms. And on demand at CentralIllinoisOutdoors.com. Brought to you by Bob Ridings in Pana and the Clinton, Illinois Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Bureau. Hi, this is Jared White, host of Central Illinois Outdoors, inviting you to find us on the internet. We are up and running at CentralIllinoisOutdoors.com. You can jump on there to find our Catch of the Week segment. Also, our archive shows. After they air on the weekend, you can find them every Monday at CentralIllinoisOutdoors.com. So listen when you can. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search Central Illinois Outdoors. Central Illinois Outdoors on Facebook or at CentralIllinoisOutdoors.com. We'll see you there.
Jim Stepp is the owner of Central Illinois Asphalt in Taylorville. With over 40 years in the asphalt paving business, he's still at it today, based in Taylorville. Don't trust fly-by-night pavers claiming they've got extra asphalt, then play gotcha. Call Jim Stepp at Central Illinois Asphalt for asphalt repair and sealing, and make your driveway or parking lot dust-free with recycled asphalt and environmentally friendly sealer that doesn't contain coal tar and other harmful things to your health. Reach Jim by Googling Central Illinois Asphalt Taylorville for quality work at fair prices. He's your local paver with over 40 years experience.
A child in need of emergency care can be a parent's worst fear. But Julie can't thank HSHS Good Shepherd Hospital's emergency team enough for the care her daughter received during a medical scare.
The team at Good Shepherd took great care of my baby girl. The entire team was very attentive, compassionate, and made my daughter feel safe. We are so grateful for the care she received.
HSHS Good Shepherd Hospital. We're here with you.
Craig's Realtors continues to be the market leader in 2022 with more properties sold than anyone else. Owner Steve Craig's here, and we'd love to go to work for you. Find out how by clicking on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Find out about all the products and services offered by Dan Rizzo, your American Family Insurance agent in Taylorville, by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper. Your stream on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com's Facebook and WTIM TV YouTube, brought to you by People's Bank and Trust. They put people first. And Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. I'm here on the phone with Superintendent of Nokomis School District, Dr. Scott Dewar, and I told y'all for just a moment ago that we'll talk a little bit about some sports and some success going on in Nokomis. But first, I wanted to let everyone know, if you don't know already, that the FAFSA portal opened up in October. Dr. Scott Dewar, what should parents and students know about FAFSA?
Well, I think the first thing we need to know is, especially for our students, if they go to Mrs. DeWerf website, we do have FAFSA nights where parents and kids can come in and work with the counselors to make sure that their FAFSA is completed. This is an opportunity for all kids to get the form completed to make sure that they receive enough financial aid for college or trade school or community college or whatever their post-secondary aspirations are. But FAFSA is a requirement now in all public schools. And so we make sure that kids have all the opportunities they have to make sure they have that completed, make sure they bring their forms with them. Parents have to bring their tax forms and all that fun stuff. So, it's an opportunity that we give, a service that we give our students to make sure that they get that done.
And you already said it is a requirement. It's a graduation requirement for students to fill out the FAFSA.
And it is now, in the state of Illinois. So it is a requirement to get that filled out, even if, you can get an exemption from it. But it's a form that takes about 30 minutes to complete, and then it goes to the college of the kids' choice, and they process it and we're able to tell how much financial aid, either through grants or scholarships or student loans. And so, it's a way for kids to get money to not have to worry about that once they get into college and concentrate on their studies.
Right. Absolutely. And I also think, and I'm just talking to you, I think that FAFSA oftentimes has a connotation that it has to be used for a college, aside from the fact that you have to fill it out and apply anyway. But that FAFSA, as you alluded to, can also be used to a trade school or a community college with a trades program, etc.
Exactly. Any post-secondary education, that FAFSA, excuse me, is good for. And so, we obviously, encourage all kids, no matter what they're going to do after high school, to get that completed because, kids change their mind at the last minute. It might be August and they decide they want to go to school. So that form is already filled out, ready to go. And then colleges can process that financial aid pretty quickly.
Do you have an upcoming financial aid night that you'd like to give a plug for, or is that just kind of a pay attention to the newsletter kind of deal?
I believe we have one tonight, but like I said, we posted all of our nights on social media, and then Mrs. DeWerf, our high school counselor, initiates all that on her website as well.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fantastic. Anything else that you want to say about financial aid?
Just make sure we get the forms filled out.
Excellent. Well, on a lighter note, Nokomis volleyball did a great job yesterday. I know they defeated Ramsey Co-op in the opening round of the IHSA volleyball tournament in the Whitehall sectional. So they're moving on and they're playing tonight. What can you say about this team of volleyball players?
You know what? This is a great bunch of girls. They work hard all the time. I will walk through practices sometimes just to, get around and see everyone. And, those girls are putting 100%, 110% effort into being prepared for their next game. They play Raymond tonight at Raymond. And, we have not been successful with Raymond yet this year, but both games we played them was very, very close. So the girls are all hyped up and ready and believe that they can, overcome the past and get that victory tonight.
I hope so too. A victory sends them into the regional finals, I understand. And then,
right.
And then that gives them a chance to be regional champions. They're in the semifinals tonight. So that's fantastic. How did the soccer team look this year? The boys soccer team?
We co-op our soccer with Raymond.
Okay.
And they had a fantastic season. They made it all the way to the regional championship game. And unfortunately, they fell a little short at that game. But they had a really great season. A majority of the players do come from Nokomis in that co-op. And, we had a student from Nokomis, Mr. Alman, who broke a lot of school records this year. And, we're very proud of those kids and all they did in the soccer platform this year.
Well, how did football look for you?
Football was a tough year for us. It was we were young. We had several freshmen playing. We had a chance to get to the playoffs, and last Friday night we fell short. With a minute to go, we got a couple bad penalties, and the opposing team scored on us with 8 seconds to go, and that just put them over the edge. So it's unfortunate, but it was a building year. It was also a year where we're in between conferences, so we played a lot of teams outside of our region, excuse me, and outside of our area. So once we get that conference schedule moving forward, I think we'll see in those freshmen continue to build their skills. I think we have some bright future athletes ahead of us.
I think so too. And good luck to the Nokomis volleyball team this evening. Again, they take on Lincolnwood Co-op in Lincolnwood High School at 6 p.m. Also, that's Nokomis Superintendent Dr. Scott Dewar. Thank you so much, Dr. Dewar.
Thank you, Avery. Have a great week.
WTIM.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298 CD Shelbyville, 107.9 W300 EH Payne and Nokomis.
From townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. With the all-important midterm elections